I shouldn't have gone back to the ruins. The wind whispered through broken walls, carrying fragments of conversations I didn't remember having. Somewhere beyond sight, the library waited. Not on any map. Not in any city. It existed only where time forgot to continue. I crossed the threshold before I knew what I was doing. The first step echoed through infinite corridors. Shelves stretched farther than the eye could see, stacked with books that glowed faintly, as if each had been breathing while the world slept. I reached for one. It shivered under my fingers, humming with the pulse of lives I didn't recognize. The title burned itself into my memory, A Life That Never Was. And when I opened it, the letters moved like water. Images formed, a face that looked like mine, but older, different, a version I didn't remember being. A whisper grazed my ear. Some things remember you, even when you forget them. I froze. The corridors were empty, yet the library had a voice, a presence, watching, waiting. I wandered deeper. Every shelf contained stories that weren't mine, yet I felt a familiarity I couldn't explain. A book floated down from a high shelf and landed in my lap. Its cover was unmarked, blank. I opened it, and there it was. My own life, written down line by line, moment by moment. A chill crawled up my spine. My hands trembled as the words shifted. Yesterday, last year, last decade, everything I thought I'd forgotten, remembered. The book knew me better than I knew myself. A figure appeared in the shadows, tall, thin, cloaked. The librarian, I assumed, though it breathed no air, spoke no word. It gestured toward another corridor where the glow was dimmer. Curiosity tugged me forward. The further I walked, the quieter the library became, and yet I could hear every page turning in the distance. I found another book. This one was titled The River That Remembers Your Name. The letters flickered like flames. I touched it. For a moment, I saw water flowing through darkness, and a figure, not mine, but familiar, reaching out. Then it vanished. The library swallowed the memory before I could grasp it. I realized the library had rules I could not break. Every book I read came at a cost. With each story consumed, I faded slightly from my own life. Photos I remembered became blurry. Names I once spoke fluently twisted in my tongue. The library was not a place for mortals. It did not forget. And it did not forgive. A corridor opened into a hall filled with floating books. Titles glimmered faintly, written in languages I had never seen. Some of them whispered fragments of my past. A shadow of myself appeared in the reflection of polished wood. It smiled, a knowing, tragic smile. I couldn't tell if it was me or another version that had already been claimed. I kept walking, drawn to a faint golden light. It led me to a pedestal, upon which lay a single blank book. The library held its breath. I reached for a pen that hovered above the pages. Every word I could write felt like a ripple through time itself. I paused. To write was to exist. To remain unread was to vanish. I could alter my story, change the path I had walked or had yet to walk, yet every choice carried weight I could not measure. The library whispered again, "Do you remember, or will you be forgotten?" I wrote, not a name, not a date, not a life. I wrote one phrase, "The library remembers." The halls shimmered, blurred, and I felt the pull of infinity. My reflection vanished. I could hear footsteps. Mine, yet not mine, receding into endless corridors. The library had absorbed my existence. And yet, a part remained. Somewhere, in the flicker of candlelight, a floating shard of memory lingered. I stepped back. The walls stretched endlessly. The whispers grew softer, carrying fragments of voices from other myths, other lives. I could no longer tell where I ended and the library began. And yet, for a brief moment, I felt free. If you've heard this far, then perhaps the library remembers you too. Follow the Realms of Mythos before your page fades.